Hey, what is up, legends? My name is Derek or Jane Nova, and today we are back with another powerlifting update. It's been a minute, but on the bright side, the beard's coming back. I don't look like a child anymore, and we're going to talk about some powerlifting updates. I got some good updates for you guys. All right, please enjoy the subpar Call of Duty gameplay in the background. I've been playing a lot of other games lately, so I haven't really been playing Call of Duty. I booted it up today, and it felt terrible. The controller felt very foreign in my hands, but it's all right. This video is more about the powerlifting talks anyway. I just want something in the background for you guys to watch in the meantime. We have a lot to talk about. It's been a few weeks since I've done an update, and a lot has happened in the past few weeks. So the last episode of this, I talked about how I kind of struggled with my deadlift. I think the last one I talked about was me hitting or failing 495 because my grip gave out. That was Saturday 9/21, I believe, was that the last one that we talked about. So skipping forward to Saturday of 9/28, nothing really too crazy happened on this one. I'm only going to show kind of some highlight clips of the last few weeks. And kind of talk about just what we've been going through and some stuff that we've been working on. But yeah, the Saturday 9/28 session, nothing too crazy. That session was more kind of like a bounce back session from the previous Saturday. I did hit 500 again on squat, which wasn't, that was kind of a PR match, so nothing too crazy there. The deadlift did feel a little bit better that week. I believe I hit 500 for 4 at 9 on that week. I might throw that one up in the video just because I was pretty proud of that one. Rep PRs for deadlifts are pretty big for me just because I feel like it's always harder for me to PR just with reps, but 500 for 4 at RPE 9 for that one. But yeah, nothing really super crazy on that week of 9/28. Kind of going into the following weeks is where stuff starts to get a little bit juicy. So moving on to Saturday 10/5, so the first weekend of October. I was feeling really good. We went in and I was going for a squat PR on this Saturday. So on October 5th, I went for 510 for 1 rep, going for a new 1 rep PR on squat. I'll throw that up on the screen now for you guys to see. And we crushed it. It was at roughly RPE 9. It moved really good. And honestly, it moved so good that we decided to also go for 520. And we got that shit. So that was huge. The squat is progressing just massively right now. It's felt really good. We had some issues that we ran into the following week, which I'll talk about in a minute, but for the most part, it's been feeling really strong. I think I have a lot left in the tank too. I know that rep specifically, the 520 I got stuck pretty good there at the middle of that rep, but for the most part, it moved pretty well. I'm really proud of all the work I've been putting in and how much it has gone up. My squat has just increased so much over the last 5-6 months. It's been absolutely crazy, but there's actually a few lifts that I'm really proud of right now. And we'll get into that here in a minute as well. But again, I'm ecstatic hitting 520. It's just up from here. Everything has been feeling so good lately, barring the thing that I've been dealing with, which I'll talk about in a minute. But again, the progress has been insane. So 520 for 1. My new squat PR is 520 pounds. And then also on Saturday 10/5, we also hit a rep PR, I believe, for deadlift, which was 520 for 3. Again, huge rep PR for me. I'm pretty sure that was a rep PR. 520 for 3. I'm not mad at it. I'm really proud of that one, to be honest. I'm honestly probably a little bit more proud of that than I am my 565 1 rep max, just because I feel like rep PRs, again, for me, for deadlift, rep PRs are really difficult. I've always struggled with it in the past, just being able to, for me, I think a lot of it's mental. I feel like I'll do 1 rep and feel like I really don't have another left in me, but a lot of times you can surprise yourself, especially with deadlift. I think there's a lot of just kind of clenching your teeth and getting through the rep type of stuff with deadlift. So a lot of it comes down to just being mentally prepared for that next rep, and I feel like that's something I struggle with for a long time, but I think the training has been helping me just kind of understand, especially with the RPE scale, understanding how much I really feel like I have left in me. So it's been good. But 520 for 3, I'll throw that one up on the screen for you guys to see as well. That one was a huge PR. But let's fast forward to Saturday 10/12, which was last week. So this week kind of had some lower back issues. I had a while ago, I think it was in, I think it was June or July, where I was front squatting, and for whatever reason, when I would go down into the hole, so at the very bottom of the rep, I was aggravating like my lower left side of my back, kind of like above my tailbone a little bit. Nothing like debilitating, like I couldn't walk or anything like that, but it was aggravating it to a point where it was very uncomfortable to try to squat or try to do anything after I like kind of aggravated it. So when it happened back in July, we just killed the session like right after I heard it, and then didn't really do anything after that. Gave it a day because I think I had a rest day the next day anyway, and I was fine coming the next day. So this time we were doing front squats. Same thing happened. Started aggravating it as soon as I started warming up, and we again same thing, had a rest day the next day. Came back the day after that, and kind of did the same thing we did last time because, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we were assuming and kind of expecting everything to kind of go back to normal because this has happened before. We gave it a rest day. We killed the session just like we did the time before that. But I came back the next day and same thing. It started hurting again, not nearly as bad. And this time it was more of like a tightness than a pain, if that makes sense. So the first, like on the initial day where it started, it was more of like a pain, not debilitating pain, like I said, but it was more of like a pain. And then the day after was a rest day. The day after that, it was just super tight. It was kind of like tightening up, and it was spreading through like my entire low back, basically. So we went super conservative, basically, for the rest of that session as well. I think we killed that session actually after that as well. But yeah, so that Saturday, 10-12, we decided to kind of take a deload from anything that was going to be putting weight on my back. Yeah, so I worked with my coach, and we decided to kind of take away that like spinal loading part of training just for a few days to kind of give my body some time to really just recover, get back to normal, and see where we were. So that Saturday, 10-12, I did some kind of light-ish bench press. Bench really wasn't aggravating the back at all, so we kind of kept it up. That Saturday, I did 285 for 1, roughly 5.6. That was my last warm-up set. And then 325 for 1 at 8.5. Then 295 for 3 at 8. So that was just kind of my normal working sets there. Not going to throw those up there. And then the big difference, especially like for this Saturday, because I mean, my Saturdays are usually squat, bench, deadlift days. Instead of doing like a traditional conventional deadlift like I normally would, we did a trap bar deadlift, which was a nice switch up. It didn't aggravate the back at all. It actually felt really good. My traps were torched the day after this, but it felt really good. I'll throw a video up of the trap bar deadlift just for you guys to see it. I think I did 395 for 8 on that one. So not a movement I do super often, but it was fun to kind of switch it up. But fast forward to this Friday, which is today. So that was last Saturday, kind of nothing super crazy going on. Like I said, we were really just more or less deloading and just taking away that spinal loading component from my back, just kind of give my body some time to refresh. But let's fast forward to this Friday. Today was the first day that I've squatted again since last Saturday, that's a whole week basically without having any weight on my back. It's been a while since I've conventional deadlifted too, so it's been a minute for a lot of things. Actually, before we talk about today, let's talk about my huge bench press PR, okay? So, as you guys know, my current 1 rep max is 345 for pause bench. However, yesterday, Thursday, I hit probably, I'm more proud of this than I am my 345 for 1. I hit 315 for 5. Touch and go bench press. I'm gonna throw that video up there for you guys to see it. Honestly, nuts, like nuts. I never ever thought that I would be at a point where I could bench press 315 for 5. I never thought I'd be able to bench press 315 for reps, regardless. It's like I said, I've talked about it before in a lot of my other lifting videos, but it's always been kind of one of my weaker lifts, and just being able to do this and seeing the progress that I've come, like I have a video, it's probably in one of the older ones, but the video of me hitting 320 for the first time, and I'm like fighting it the whole way up. It was like one of the longest, probably still is the longest rep of my life, and that was 320 for 1 rep. And then now I can bust out 315 for 5. Like, it's just, that progress to me is crazy, and it's like in 3 months. Like, that was in I think June. So it's absolutely insane to me. because I've always struggled with bench, and it's clear to me that this program is working, and having a coach is so beneficial for me, because there's things that, like, I was thinking about this the other day on the way home from the gym, and I think for me, and probably for a lot of people, when you're struggling to increase a lift, like I would struggle to increase my bench for years, it's because I wasn't training to my weak points in bench. For the longest time, I would do the same things every single day. I'd bench press, maybe do some incline dumbbells, and then some cable flies. That was it. So I wasn't really training specific things to make my bench press better. But now this program is specifically designed for me, and specifically designed to increase my bench press, which is clearly working. So that was a huge accomplishment. Yesterday was I felt so good going into the gym. I felt so good at the gym. And when I hit that, I was ecstatic. Like, that's probably, honestly, like, that is probably tied with, like, the 520 for PRs I'm, like, the most proud of right now, the 520 squat. So, again, huge. Now we can go into Friday, which is today. Again, first time I've squatted since last Saturday. Felt amazing today. So it's going to be kind of lighter. We wanted to keep it, kind of conservative. Didn't want to push it, just to make sure. We hadn't put any weight on my back really at all this entire week. So wanted to keep it a little bit conservative. So we just kind of went in, wanted to keep everything around RPE 6. So pretty light, not like crazy light to where I'm not really getting any stimulus from it, but light enough to where we're not really like increasing that injury risk. So we start off for a triple at 6. I had 435 for 3 at RPE 6. It felt really good. The motion itself felt really good today, which is kind of weird because this is technically like a squat and deadlift week 1. So my week 1 squats never typically feel too bad, but today honestly felt really, really smooth. I think what did I use the term? I told my coach that I felt like a wheel that you sprayed a dick ton of WD-40 on, because it just felt so smooth. It just felt great. So I have days like that where, like, just getting into the whole motion of the squat just feels really, really smooth. There's no like aches or pains. There's no tightness anywhere. It just felt really good. Weight felt good on my back, which is one of the things I was worried about, because it's been a week since I've had anything on my back. So even if it felt like a little heavy, it would have been, it would have been expected because it's been a week, but it didn't feel heavy on my back at all. It felt really good. So I hit that triple at 6. I'll throw that up on the screen for you guys. And then right after that, we hit a fatigue single at 465. I actually undershot the RPE a little bit. It was supposed to be at 6.5, but it came in around 5.5 to 6. So felt really good. 465 moved really good. I misgrooved the rep a little bit. You can see kind of when I go down, I'll throw it up on the screen. But when I go down, I kind of get stuck a little bit for a second, but the weight moved really good. And again, I think the misgrooving, and you guys will see, I'll talk about it a little bit in the deadlift too, but the misgroove is more than likely just kind of a detraining effect from not having squatted for a week. So that will all kind of fade as I start squatting a little bit more. But yeah, it felt really good. Really happy with today. So we moved on to some deadlifts. I hit 500 for 1 at 5. And I'll be honest, I think this was the easiest rep of 500 that I've done to date. And the funniest part is, if you watch the video, I'll throw it up there right now. If you watch the video, I am extremely not centered on that bar. If you look at like where the center, like there's the knurling on the bar, and then like the middle part where there's no knurling, that part is like 4 inches to the right if you look at my legs. So I was very off center. You can kind of tell because I think I pick up the left side of the bar first, and it's a little bit janky, but it was the easiest rep, I think, of 500 that I've done to date. So it felt super, super light. And technically, this is a week 1 deadlift, and, looking at the past, my week 1 deadlifts are terrible. So the fact that it felt really good today was pretty amazing. Right after that 500 for 1, we did 485 for 3, and that came in around at RPE 6. Again, kind of the same thing as the squat. It felt really, really good. There are some little things here and there that could have been better. If at the top of the first rep, my knees kind of didn't lock out. So again, kind of just a detraining effect, just because I haven't really been doing deadlift this week. So my body's just, kind of getting back into the swing of things. So that will most likely all fade as I start to do it more. Just things I have to focus on to make sure we clean it up come competition time. But yeah, that's all of the lifts that I wanted to talk about. Sorry, this is kind of messy. I know I haven't updated you guys in a couple weeks, so just kind of trying to recap everything that's happened in the past 2 or 3 weeks. So we had that little low back incident, nothing crazy, not like a debilitating pain, but we worked through it, deloaded a little bit, limited the amount of load that we were putting on my spine, and just kind of gave the body a break while still training, obviously, especially the bench. The bench kind of really didn't take a pause or anything. We just kind of kept chugging along on bench because it really wasn't aggravating the back at all. But we did take that break basically just for the squat and the deadlift. Obviously, everything's good now. Felt great today. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The big update I have really is that I finally signed up for my first meet. I'm officially, as of today, I believe we're 8 weeks out for my first meet. My first meet's going to be on December 14th, and I'm juiced. I'm really excited. I honestly, I don't know how I'm going to feel come meet day. I think a lot of, the passion I have for this sport is going to be on display on this day. So I'm really hoping that I can rise to the occasion, maybe even hit some PRs on the platform. So we're 8 weeks out, dude, and it feels really good. It's crazy to me because I never thought that I would actually be signed up and ready to go. Like, it's easy to say, like, oh, I want to compete in a powerlifting meet, I'm going to train for it, all this stuff. But actually signing up is something that I think a lot of people just don't do. They look at the meet schedules and they say, oh, maybe I'll do this one, maybe I'll do this one, but they never actually commit. And I think doing your first meet and really committing is that first step that you have to take, get your foot in the door, and that's when it starts to get serious. So I think I have really competitive numbers right now, and I think that we're just trending up. I think, the progress has been crazy. We haven't really plateaued really on anything. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what the future holds. I'm excited to see what my total is going to be when I get up on the platform. And yeah, I'm really confident. I'm really proud of myself with how far I've come. So I'll keep updating you guys with everything. These next few weeks are going to be pretty crazy. We're going to be pushing it pretty hard. I told my coach, I have a vacation coming up in the end of November, so I'm basically going to be missing like a week of training. Not missing because I'm going on a cruise, so there's a gym on the boat, but I'm going to be not training to my fullest potential for a week, and that's 3 weeks before the meet. So not perfect timing, but we will make do with what we have. I just want to get that first meet in. If I can make sure that I'm around a little bit above a 1,400 total, I'll be happy. Obviously, it's not ideal that I'm missing an entire week of training a few weeks before the meet, but, we got to make do with what we have, and I really want to do this one specifically. So, and my coach basically asked me, he's like, do you want to push it? Like, what are your thoughts? And I told him, you only live once. So let's push it as hard as we can. If I get hurt, I get hurt, whatever. Let's do what we got to do. So I show up on meet day and I put on performance and I'm happy with. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll keep updating you guys as we get closer. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Thanks guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave the comment section down below. Maybe like me or share with your friends. Thanks. See y'all in the next one. Peace out.